Alright, everyone, this is Lord Shadrach speaking. First of all, I'm going to make it very clear as day. I don't care what you are. I don't care if you're white or black or Hispanic or Oriental or Arab or Christian or Jew or Muslim or Buddhist or Hindu or Wiccan or Scientologist. I don't care if you're a liberal, a conservative, a Democrat or a Republican or whatever, but you know what? You're entitled to your rights to speak freely. Now, I am making this video in regards to hearing about these two teen girls down in Gainsville who are being accused of racism for simply making a YouTube video and ranting about how they thought and felt. Now, bear in mind with me, this video is just an opinion, alright? This is just an opinion. So if you don't want to hear what I have to say, or if you don't like what I'm going to say, then you are free to stop watching this video and go about doing something else. I don't care what it is. But if you want to watch this video, fine. But understand that it's my opinion. Alright, first of all, let's talk about what these two girls were discussing about all these blacks being on welfare. Okay, that is partially correct. However, they are right in saying that, okay, some blacks are on welfare and they talk the way they talk. But if you want to know what's even worse, it's all these Hispanics that come into our country and don't even bother learning the language. I mean, sure, I'm upset and angry when blacks start speaking a vernacular method of speaking that is so hard to understand that that it's full of slang and slurs and everything. But you know what? Those guys are actually a head or two above the Hispanics that come into our country and don't bother learning English. Sure, the blacks may go, he be G dog, and everything like that. And I'm not doing this to insult you. Bear in mind, this is just my opinion. This is my opinion on the matter, okay? Just listen with me. But at least you guys speak English. Alright? But then again, not every black person speaks ghetto, and not every Hispanic speaks pure Spanish. I'm sure there are a lot of blacks and a lot of Hispanics that speak perfect English. The Queen's English, possibly. Okay, I can understand them being those two girls being pissed off about blacks abusing the welfare system, but it's very interesting that not every person on welfare is black. In fact, I will have the percentages down in the comments section, down in the description below, so everyone can see for themselves that that these girls are actually full of shit when they say that every black person is on welfare. In fact, not all of them are on welfare. I know a lot of blacks that are not on welfare whatsoever. These individuals are hard-working individuals that have jobs, they are very educated, and they speak very well. Okay. What I'm angry about is how, number one, these girls are being ostracized for voicing their opinion. If you didn't like the video, then don't watch it. If you didn't like what they had to say, then don't listen to them. You know, as a Christian, a lot of people have criticized my religion, atheists, Muslims, Wiccans, Buddhists, the entire board. And they have made dozens of videos on YouTube about this. Do I have to watch every single video about these other groups trashing my religion? No, I ignore them. So why are y'all getting up in arms over what these girls said? If you didn't like what they had to say, then why did you bother watching it? Why did you bother even listening to what they had to say? Second of all, if they were just voicing their opinion, why did it bother you? If you were a black person and you don't if you don't fit what these girls were saying, you should have been the ones to stand out and say, hey, I'm a black person. I don't do this sort of thing. You're wrong in saying that about me. But you know what? Y'all got all up in arms about it. Not just blacks, but everyone else. Even liberal whites. I can understand why they're so pissed off about it, and I'm sure that if I were black and if I were well done in terms of well off and everything like that, I too would be very pissed off about what this person was saying. Or I might have gone along and agreed with it and supported these kids, but I'm not black, so I can't speak for blacks. But anyways, what angers me is another thing that angers me is all these death threats these kids were getting. They're just teenagers, for God's sake. Why threaten these kids for saying what they thought was right? They didn't know any better. If you're like me, who hardly gets over 100 views on his YouTube channel, and rarely 1,000 views, depending on the circumstances or the subject matter, then hey, why bother watching? Now, for starters, I can agree that some of the things they said were off kilter and not right in terms of statistics and everything like that. They think that all blacks are dumb and stupid. No, I'm not saying that either. Like I said before, I know a lot of intelligent black people, a lot of intelligent African Americans. Excuse me for not being politically correct, ladies and gentlemen, who simply can speak very perfect English. And I'm going to talk about political correctness later, but let's progress. Another thing that angers me about this whole entire debacle is how it's automatically racist if a white person speaks their opinion about another race. That's what angers me. If these kids had been Asian, would there have been an uproar? If these kids had been black, would there have been an uproar? Highly doubtful. But the fact these kids are white, excuse me, one was a Hispanic American, because she's partially Cuban, so I guess that makes her a Hispanic American. Come to think of it, why in the hell are we hyphenating our country? Why are we calling each other African American or Hispanic American or Asian American or Arab American or European American? Let's just call it American. I mean, good grief, everyone. It's annoying that we have to hyphenate and further divide our people into something based on ethnicity or race or anything like that. I'm just an American. And that's what you are. If you're from America, if you're a citizen of the United States of America, then that's what you are. American. None of this African American or Hispanic American or Latin American or Asian American or Klingon American. Okay? Or Jedi American, for that matter. Just become American and leave it at that. And then there's also an issue that angers me about political correctness and everything like that. You know, that's going to be the death of this country. God forbid if I should say my opinion or about anything, about race, about women, about men, about culture, about another religion, without being called a racist, a bigot, a homophobe, or anything like that. I have a constitutional right that says, despite the fact that this may be unpopular and this may be not good, I have a right to say it as long as I'm not hurting anyone. I mean, like I said before, I've seen dozens of people, excuse me, dozens of YouTube videos trashing religion. Do I have to get all up in arms and contact the ACLU and go blah, 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 they're trashing my religion, wham, wham, wham? No. What instead I normally do is I ignore it. So if you hear someone talking bad about race and you're of that race, why must you hear it? Why should you care what they're saying? If you know they're arrogant and if you know they're ignorant, why are you feeding these trolls? In fact, just let them starve. Don't pay them no mind to it, and it'll die out. But still, I hate it as a white, heterosexual, Christian male that I can't say anything or do anything without being called a racist, a homophobe, a bigot, a chauvinist, or all the above. And that's what angers me about this. And that's why I'm pissed off about this entire ordeal. That I can't say or do anything without voicing my opinion about anything that I believe in or agree with or don't believe in or don't agree with without being called any of that. And that has angered me. Now, about these girls and everything going to school, I have to agree with the old saying is true. The more things change, the more they're the same. In fact, when I went to school, the blacks that went to school, well, some of the blacks, not all of them, did speak the ghetto talk, you know, and everything like that. They would speak the ghetto talk. It would be aggravating to hear them talk. But you know what? Some of them were actually very smart people. I just blame it on their upbringing, not their race. In fact, it's their upbringing that makes these blacks like this, not their race in general. Because you can have ignorant whites and ignorant Hispanics and ignorant Asians just as much as you can have ignorant blacks. But you know what? It's not about race, it's about upbringing. I figured I'd stress that again so people can better understand what I'm trying to say. And I'm coughing because I'm very sick. But anyways, what's with all these death threats to these little girls? They're just little girls. I mean, why should you care what they say? But to give these girls death threats, to kick them out of school, to harass their families, to threaten their lives, now you've just made yourself, you've just reacted poorly to this. What you should have done, and logically what you should have done, was just said, look, I don't agree with that. You should have used facts and figures. You should have used personal examples. You should have used even yourself. But you decided to add to the fuel and add to the hate by saying that you were threatening these people. By threatening these individuals, you've done nothing but make it worse. Now, as for these girls, I can understand where they're coming from because, like I said, I went to school with people, with blacks that were like that. But it wasn't. But it's not because of their race. It was because of their upbringing. Okay? Their upbringing is what makes them like that, not their race. In fact, I've seen a number of responses to this video, and most of the blacks that have responded to this video are very, very intelligent. In fact, there was this one person, this one black person, I really wish I knew his name off the top of my head, who actually gave an intelligent response to this video, and I will link you a response to his video right here. Just click his video and watch it. He's actually got a good point, and I actually like what he says. I wish I knew his name so I could make a shout out to him in this video, but that's not the point of this video. The point I'm making is my entire opinion about what these girls did and the news surrounding it. Now, in closing, what these girls were just saying was their opinion. Doesn't matter if you like it or not, they have a constitutional right to say it. Even if these girls are under the rule of their school and their parents, they still have a constitutional right to say how they think and feel, no matter how unpopular it is. Second of all, I can agree with some of the things they're saying. Some of the things they're saying. Because not all black people are like that. And not all blacks are on welfare. Because like I said, I've known a number of intelligent blacks that do not fit what they were saying. Thirdly, threatening these kids is just not right. That's what angers me. Because they're kids. You're threatening little kids for speaking their mind and they didn't even know any better. Fourthly, the fact that these kids are being taught that I, as a white, heterosexual Christian male, can't say anything without being called a racist, a bigot, a homophobe, or anything like that angers me, because if you're all about freedom of speech and equal rights, why am I being denied it? Why am I being denied that right? I'm an American citizen, and I have as much right as any minority to speak my opinion. And all I ask is that you respect my right to voice my opinion, and that you respect my right to say it no matter how you take it. It's one thing to say that you don't like a certain group, or a certain religion, or a certain sexuality. It's another thing to violently attack these people because of it. And I don't mind people speaking out against me because I'm a Christian, but if you start attacking me for my Christian faith, then we're going to have a problem. I don't have a problem if you speak out against whites, but if you attack me because I'm white, then we're going to have problems. I don't have a problem if you speak out against me because I'm a heterosexual, but if you start attacking heterosexuals or straight people for being straight, then we have problems. So I don't mind if you voice your opinions against people, if you voice your opinions against me. Just don't cause me any violence. Just as long as You respect my right to say the same things about you, to criticize minorities, women, gays and lesbians, and non-Christians. Just give me that right. I'm not hurting anybody. It's just my opinion. And if you don't like my opinion, then don't listen to me. Just ignore me. Just go about your business. And that's all I ask. Because if you're going to give everyone equal rights and freedom of speech, then that applies to the majority as well as the minority, and that's all I have to say about this video. I expect comments, I expect video responses, and I expect private messages. Depending on the amount I may receive, I'll try and respond to them as much as I can. And that is all I have to say in regards to this. If you bother to listen to my video, please respond, preferably in a logical way, not a violent way. Because logical speaking and reasonable speech and openness and a glasnost, if you prefer calling it glasnost, Gorbachev, then yeah, we can do that. Just don't threaten me. All I'm asking is for you to listen. That's all I'm trying to say. Thank you.